think it also comes down to priorities as well. When I'm on my phone first and then when I'm going to Instagram first, God's not first.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Sinless Podcast. I am James Rock, your host. That is Justin here in the podcast or the Trout Lake Camps podcast studios. World famous, by the way. And I'm here with my friend Lydia. And Lydia has been doing Sinless here for a few weeks now. And we wanted to bring her back and find out how things are going, what's going on. Also an employee of Trout Lake Camps. Lydia, what do you do at Trout?
I work with guest services and waterfront in the summer.
Yeah, I should probably know that, huh? We are in the midst of summer just started for us. I don't know what time it is for when you're going through these podcasts. Hopefully in order. Hopefully you started with number one and worked your way through. But tell me about how you're doing with Sinless so far.
Yeah, I feel like I started in a kind of funny slow season, and then obviously camp starts, and we have staff training, and we have all this stuff that's pulling me away. And so it's been not as easy to track. I haven't really gotten the daily tracks, but still been like on the back of my mind, and
Yeah. So what are you finding out of the gate? You're several weeks in now. I think when we first talked to you, you were like a week in.
Yeah.
So you're several weeks in now. You've had a couple weeks that have been hard just because you're busy. And again, it's hard to explain. Our staff training, our staff's probably working 80 plus hours in a week, just getting all of our 180 summer staff trained for 11 or 12 weeks of campers on the grounds. And so it can be a little time consuming, let's just say. And you run the lifeguard area.
Yeah, I do.
And so you had to train the lifeguards, American Red Cross training and all that kind of stuff, and all that kind of putting the big inflatables out and all that crazy stuff. So you had a lot going on. Okay, but back to Sinless.
Yeah.
So what have you been learning here from the start? What's taken your focus? What's kind of the thing that keeps coming up?
Yeah, I think what keeps coming up for me is idolatry and really like my phone usage and social media usage. And Sinless has really kind of helped me like fix my priorities, where before this challenge, it was like, yeah, I want to read my Bible. I want to write in my prayer journal, but I don't get to it until later on in the day. And one of my goals was to have prayer and Bible reading be before any of my fun activities, or it might be after I work, but if I can fit it in the morning, that's good. And it really like rearranged some of my priorities for a little bit of time before
things got crazy.
Yeah.
That's real similar to my experience. So when I first started, I found that if I don't wake up in the morning and give myself a few minutes just to convince myself once again that I'm going to go through the day focused on sinning less today than I did yesterday. If I don't take a minute and focus on that, if I don't pray about it, if I don't open my Bible, not necessarily every time open my Bible, but every few days I open my Bible and remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, the focus kind of gets off. So you're having that same kind of, if I'm going to do this, I got to prepare myself for it, right?
Yeah. And it's also hard because working in a Christian like culture and community at camp, we get a lot of Bible all the time. We have our department Bible studies. We have our Sunday morning chapel services. But it's really been more about like when I am intentionally one-on-one with God, and how I can fit that into my schedule before any of my other activities and hobbies. And
So talk to me about idolatry. So you connected idolatry to social media. You connected idolatry to, what was the other thing? Phone use and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me what what do you mean by that?
I think it also comes down to priorities as well. When I'm on my phone first and then when I'm going to Instagram first, God's not first. And so I see that as an idol. And that has been a huge struggle for me throughout like high school and college and into early adulthood. And I just see it as something that a golden calf or whatever you might want to call it, that has been just ahead of God at seasons of my life, and trying to really tear that down and put Christ first. And so by just rearranging the time of day when I like can actually connect with God and center myself and be intentional about it, I'm not like going cold turkey, no phone. But when do I spend time with God? And am I jumping to other things before
Yep.
him?
Yeah, I've had a couple conversations with people, and I put death scrolling or doom scrolling on my list, right? And it's just like, and people say, well, that's the Bible doesn't say that's a sin, right? But I do think that it's that idolatry thing where you're taking these other pieces and putting them there. Curiosity, do you think it's you looking for the dopamine hit? Is it you looking for actual content that you like online? What is it that's pulling you to your phone? What is it that drives you there?
I think it might just be habit and like, having a phone young, being in the generation. I'm 24,
Yeah.
and so I grew up with social media and with a phone. Like I got a phone when I was 15 and I've had a social media account, and that's just kind of what we were, I guess,
Yeah.
trained how
Yeah.
to spend your
How you grew up.
time
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how you connect with others. And of course, we have the big dogs of social media world trying to get you to constantly be on your phone. And so just throughout the like normal cultures of college, it's like, yeah, I have my hours of screen time at night, and so just by habit I go back to that, and so it's hard to cut out that habit. Like, but I'm doing it, chipping away
Yeah.
little by little, I think.
So the catchphrase I've been using is training our hearts to reflect Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so basically, it's that idol is in the way of that training of that or that focus point or piece there, and it's pulling us away from the thing that we know we want to do, right?
Yeah.
But and I'm honestly, and I'm old man, right? I'm 57, old man, but it's the same thing where it's like I keep getting sucked into this, even in the midst of we were just talking about camp being busy and life being busy. There's something about there's just this vacuum of death and destruction that brings us to our phones and just staring at them, or the computer at night or whatever. I was trying to help Justin. Justin, I haven't pushed you back with any editing things lately, have I at all? I've been everything on time. Um, Just you're not even going to answer. It's so bad, and because you keep getting sidetracked by these things, and so I think for me that's a pretty good one on my list because it is sidetracking me from seeking out God better than I'm typically doing on a day to day basis. What's been that's been the hardship? What's been the payoff here in doing sinless so far?
I think just being mindful more and having that. We were just talking about the rocks. I don't have rocks for my pocket yet, but
Yep.
just kind of like I'll catch myself. Oh, I'm doing this challenge. I gotta remember sinless, and then it might change my day completely. Like, oh, I was gonna after work go do this or that, and then I'm thinking, well, what glorifies God and what honors Him, and um, it's just good to have it in the back of my mind, I think.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen like really huge life change or anything. And honestly, I've seen a little bit of the opposite of that with maybe the enemy trying to not get me to do this challenge. And hard things. I mean, summer is hard and it's crazy, and but just a few things have popped up where I'm like, oh, this is a huge distraction, and I can tell that it could be the enemy trying to pull me away from, growing closer to Christ. And yeah.
So you wake up some mornings like I'm going to give this thing up. There's too much time, too much effort, but you keep kind of pushing yourself back to I want to do it. I want to succeed in it, and I want to find those payoffs and growing closer in my daily walk and in walking away from that yuck, walking towards the peace and life that God's called us to. That's really cool. Well, it's cool because we talked to you really early on. Now we've talked to you kind of a few weeks in, but had a couple hard weeks because of life going on at camp and stuff. But hopefully, we'll keep bringing you back and keep checking in with you and seeing how this journey is affecting you. I'm kind of the same way. I'm waiting for the big payoff.
Yeah.
I'm seeing little bits and pieces, but it'll be interesting when we start to go, oh, but man, this is something I've really conquered, or this is something I've got past. So I'm looking forward to the conversation in 5-10 weeks when you say I'm never on social media. It's all dead to me.
Waiting for the day I don't reach for my phone, or
like it's possible, right? But okay, well, thanks for this. Thanks for coming and joining us on this episode. Sure appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.